Hey, all, this is Rick Keys, and no, I'm not swimming off the coast of the Black Sea. I am actually doing a Ozzy Osbourne tribute show. So, if you don't notice, that is an O for Ozzy, and the hat kind of keeps the O in place. And by the way, to show my kind of black humor, there's the Rick Keys shirt and the skull Ozzy. So anyway, I am going to be playing some of my favorite songs from Ozzy Osbourne with his days on Black Sabbath and also his days by himself with Ozzy. So remember that is a zero. See the old, okay. So rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. He died at 76 years old. So we're going to start off with the song. The very first song is called Crazy Train. So I want you all to hop on board that crazy train for some of Ozzy Osbourne's music, music that I liked. So we're going to start off with some music from Black Sabbath, Paranoid. So two or three great songs on there. Ozzy, and I actually have written something from a gentleman that wrote a paper for the local newspaper here in San Diego, and I'll be reading some stuff. So that is the first batch of songs you're going to hear from Black Sabbath. Okay, let's read this a little bit. See, everything's black. All right, so here we go. So we got George Vargas, San Diego Union, wrote this. So he has, and I'm going to basically say everything I'm reading is from George Vargas from that San Diego Union paper. Title of the article by George is called Heavy Metal Godfather Osbourne Was One of a Kind. He certainly was one of a kind, Ozzy. So let's start off here. So it's basically, let me see. It's because I can't see it. All right, here we go. So, heavy metal godfather and two-time rock and roll fame inductee Ozzy Osbourne died at 76 years old. It's another, died at 76 years old. And wow, that's not very old, Ozzy, but anyway. And then let me see here. So, this is still George Vargas. Osborne's death comes 5 years after he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and just 17 days after his farewell performance in his native Birmingham, where he performed. And I'll continue reading and then go to the next song here. So, speaking of Birmingham, it's kind of difficult holding the O and trying to see this. Oh, okay. So here we go. So Ozzy, well, his real name, he was the son of a factory worker. He was a son of a factory worker, John Michael Ozzy Osbourne. John Michael was his real name. Grew up poor in the grimy English industrial city of Birmingham. In the 1960s, Birmingham was a launching pad for a number of notable musicians, including Steve Winwood, Robert Plant, and Ozzy Osbourne. So that's Birmingham. So the next release you're going to hear, remember that is an O. See that? O. I can take the hat off. O. O, but the O keeps the O on for Ozzy. All right. So next one is coming from. Oh, by the way, this is from my collection of Ozzy Osbourne music, and I'm going to have to tell you truthfully. Uh, Reverend Keys did not want to do the Ozzy Osbourne tribute because Ozzy was pretty dark at times. So, and I'm actually going to read some of the things that he did in his younger years when he was on drugs and alcohol. So, anyway, while he was still on drugs and alcohol, he came up with a really good album here with Black Sabbath. He was with Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. So, see the black, everything's black. Black Sabbath. By the way, did I tell you that one of my favorite songs of his was Iron Man? All right. So then after that, we had another one, Black Sabbath 4. Okay, we're gonna hear some music from that, and then okay, let's read a little bit more. Where'd that article go? Isn't that like that? Where did I put that down? That newspaper article. Holy shit! What the hell? It disappeared. Hold on, it's not back there. Where did the paper go? Well, anyway, it just disappeared. So anyway, where the did it go? Yeah, you know what? I think when I mentioned Reverend Keys and I mentioned that Ozzy was a little dark, I think the paper just evaporated. Anyway, so it sounds like a great time to get into this one. This one was called Sabotage, Black Sabbath again. Someone sabotaged me on that one, took the damn paper away. Oh, here it is. For a minute, I thought God had made the paper disappear because I'm doing okay. So I was telling you that Reverend Keys didn't want to do the Ozzy Osbourne show because he was noted for some, kind of weird stuff. So let's hear some stuff that kind of made him famous. And George Vargas interviewed Ozzy when he was in San Diego for a show, and kind of asking what he wanted to be remembered for. This was way back when. So he says, Ozzy, well, people are probably going to remember me as the man who bit the head off of a bat in Des Moines, Iowa. But before that, he actually did something even more extravagant. A year before biting the head off the bat, hopefully it wasn't a contagious bat. A year before the Iowa concert where he bit off the bat's head, he actually bit the head of a live dove during a 1981 meeting with some understandably shocked executives at his record label. So Ozzy was a little wild in his early years when he was drinking too much and boozing it up. Let's continue with the image of Ozzy. So there we go. Image was often okay. This is the image, as George wrote it, of Ozzy Osbourne. He was a winkingly ghoulish heavy metal icon known as the Prince of Darkness and also as the befuddled dad, probably because he had lost a lot of his memory. Befuddled dad on the show The Osbournes. Okay, so Ozzy was wild. Let's say that. See the O, Ozzy was real wild. So then he kind of had some fallings out with Black Sabbath, I guess because of his drunken drug days. He decided didn't want to work with him anymore, and that's when Black Sabbath basically lost the best singer they ever had, in my opinion, Ozzy Osbourne. But Ozzy Osbourne was able to pick himself up off his bootstraps, and he made his own music. And here's one from Osmosis. This was Ozzy by himself. And speaking of ghoulish, here's one that was pretty good. One. So Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, Black Rain. Okay, so Ozzy's on his own by now. Can you see that? Ozzy's actually looking like the Walking Dead right there. Ghoulish, yes. Black Rain. All right. So speaking, here's some other odd things that Ozzy did. Hold on. Let me see if I can read that while holding this balloon. Oh, so in 1989, he was arrested for attempted murder of his second wife and manager, Sharon Osbourne. So, as you know, Sharon and Ozzy remained together after that event. Uh, Here was another one. Ozzy, bad boy, naughty boy. 1982, arrest in Texas for urinating on the Alamo while wearing a dress he took from his wife's hotel room or closet. Uh, oh, think that was bad. You were a bad boy. Let me see here. He removed all his clothes and dipped some of his private parts into a wine glass while having dinner with executives at his German record label. So that puts a new, what was he drinking? Yeah. So he basically put his dingleberry into the wine in front of his executives. So anyway, he says he was a naughty boy. Ozzy was a naughty boy, but after a while, he became more focused on his family after the Osbourne show. And then I've got one. Oh, I did fail to mention that I have one more CD. So I had like several Ozzy Osbourne CDs, and as I said, Reverend Keys didn't want to do the tribute show, but I, being Rick Keys, I really liked a lot of Ozzy stuff, especially like the early Black Sabbath, Iron Man, as I mentioned, because I was kind of dark when I was a young kid. See, that's an O in case you don't know. O, and then that's Rick Keys. O. So anyway, this is the last CD, but what is it? It's called Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears. All right, so that's Ozzy Osbourne. We're going to start off with Crazy Train and just let you know, hopefully you enjoy the whole show. So hop on board that Crazy Train and enjoy the life of Ozzy Osbourne in music with Rick Keys. Rick Keys Music Care.